Joining us now is the president and CEO of the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, Jack Lavin, and the vice president for marketing at the Illinois Policy Institute, Austin Berg. So, Jack, let me start with you. What's the impact of the mayor's budget, this property tax increase, coming on top of everything else?
Well, Mike, thanks for having me on. Yeah, from our members, Chicagoland Chamber, over 1,000 members, the two things I hear most are about public safety and skyrocketing property taxes. And we commend the mayor for putting resources in on public safety and violence reduction, although we think there needs to be an immediate and urgent plan to fill the vacancies and get police into the districts in the commercial corridors.
Because we have hundreds of police who've resigned and retired, and the manpower, the woman power is down by hundreds of officers.
Absolutely. And the second thing is the skyrocketing property taxes. And we're getting hit in two sides here. We got the Cook County assessor raising assessments. In West Township, it went over 115%, Jefferson Park 81%, and then the mayor's budget increases the levy. And we're doing this at a time there's a pandemic, there's increased costs for business, regulatory costs, workers' comp costs, unemployment insurance, and now we're being hit 2 years in a row with an increase in the property tax levy and significant increases in the assessment, which has caused a $1 billion shift to commercial for property taxes.
Well, I will say, so if I listen to the gang at City Hall from the mayor on down, that's not a bug, that's a feature. Let me, socking it to business like that. Austin Berg at the Illinois Policy Institute, what is the typical property tax increase going to mean for homeowners and for businesses?
So I'm thinking about a gentleman we spoke with last week. I was thinking about him during the mayor's entire budget address. His name is Juan Giron. He owns Giron Books in Pilsen. And he saw over a single year, the property taxes on his business rise from $25,000 to $85,000 a year. And he's completely underwater. And we hear stories like that across the city. Now, of course, there are these extreme increases in assessments, but really the problem, the thing that's driving that is our increase in the levy. And that can be split up many different ways. But what's driving those higher property taxes is really the city's pension crisis.
Well, in fact,
we are getting,
as you have pointed out, Austin, virtually the entire property tax now goes for one thing: government employee pensions.
Exactly right. And the deficit that the mayor covered, which was around $700 million, more than half of that is due to just the year-over-year increase in what the city is spending on pensions. People are happy to pay higher taxes for great government services, but Chicago's service quality was ranked 141st out of 150 cities in the United States. That's because money isn't going where politicians say it is going into this broken pension system. And it's not just taxpayers getting hurt. Government workers themselves see their retirement security slip every year because we cannot keep up with the funding necessary to fund these broken systems.
Jack Lavin, the businesses that you represent, what are they saying?
They're saying property taxes are skyrocketing. We're suffering from the pandemic. It's ongoing, especially in our hospitality industry with hotels and restaurants and bars. They need more direct relief, and they need property tax relief. And we have all this ARPA money, all this federal money. Some of that can be used to give, to not raise property taxes this year. Some of it can be used for direct relief for businesses. And that's the narrative we have to have right now. If we want to get out of this, if we want to reduce violence, we need to have jobs. Who creates jobs? Businesses. So we need to help the businesses be able to create jobs, get people back to work. And if we can do that, we can help the economy move forward. We can grow the population. And we have a chance with all this federal money to do that. And it's a narrative. Right now, the narrative is business, you aren't paying enough. That's what the Cook County assessors say. And now we have the levy go up.
Well, that's what many in the city council say. That's what the Socialist Caucus
says. So businesses will come here, and we can attract and retain businesses, keep them here, and help them through the pandemic so they can get people back to work and open up again.
So, Jack, you spent 15 years in government. What's your reaction when you see Governor Pritzker and Mayor Lightfoot, the World Business Chicago group, taking ads aimed at executives in Texas saying, come to Chicago, come to Illinois?
Well, Chicago has a lot of competitive assets to attract companies here. We have a great workforce. I have a great quality of life. And so I think we need to promote that. You know, there's a perception out there in the rest of the country. We need to change that perception. So I'm good with promoting what's great about Chicago. But I also think we have to have a narrative that we are friendly to our businesses. We're helping them by giving them some relief, giving them some property tax relief, giving direct relief to businesses that are suffering from the pandemic, like the hotels and the restaurants, bars. Tourism is a huge section, part of our economy, and we need to help get that back going. And that's part of giving them direct relief. We don't have jobs in the community and downtown and for the people of Chicago. We won't reduce violence. And the only way to do that is make sure we're working with the business community, friendly, cost of business going down so they can get people back to work, create jobs, and attract businesses here to Chicago.
Jack Lavin from the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, Austin Berg from the Illinois Policy Institute, thank you very much. We'll be right back after a quick break.